Hey everyone, hope you guys are having a great evening. Just wanted to show you this filter that I pulled out of the CRV. This one is the made in Japan one, and this one is the made in the USA Honda. Both are OEM products. So I'm gonna tear it apart and show you guys the parts. This one came out of the Civic, so it's already torn apart. This is the one I'm gonna tear apart today and show you what's going on. So again, because I don't have an actual oil filter opener, one of those tin snips or anything, I basically go in and pull this gasket off first, and then use vice grips to basically peel the seal off, and then that way I can get to the inside of it. So I'm just gonna show you guys once or twice, and then I'm just gonna forward the video. So basically, get a good grip, and then basically peel backwards. See that? Hopefully you guys can see that. So peel backwards. That basically lets go of the seal, and you can see that. So it does take a little bit of time, meaning 5 minutes or something, but isn't really that bad. Like I said, I'll get some tin snips or a oil can opener when I get a chance to. But this one here, like I said, is the made in USA one, and it's a Fram filter. So Honeywell owned Fram until 2011, and they sold Fram off. And I guess this is basically right today, it's a Fram filter. This is made by Mali 10X, and it's Japanese, right? So I'm gonna just go ahead and peel this off. All right, so I've already gone all the way around with the vice grip, peeling it off, and then basically you just have to open it up from the side, sort of like shucking an oyster actually. So this, hopefully you guys can see that. So this one here, with just a flathead screwdriver, you basically just turn it, and you just pop it open, and you should be able to take it out. And obviously, guys, be careful. These are sharp edges. I do this so that you guys don't have to, so please don't try this at home. Bypassed, or this is the anti-drain back valve. I'll compare that in a sec. And then here is the filter. Right, just like that. So I just went in with a pair of pliers and plucked it out. So here's the filter element. The filter element is a little bit different than the Fram made one. There's a connector here that looks like just fabric stamped. So I could probably pull that apart, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this all apart, wipe this all down, and then show you guys what this all looks like. All right, so just have to wipe the things down a little bit so that it's not so messy. But if you guys can see that, this filter, just like the Fram one, is cardboard paper ends, right? So, I mean, I'm gonna say it, I mean, it's just not great when it's just paper ends, right? Paper is not as robust as fiberglass, which some of the Denso filters use, and it's certainly not as strong as metal, right? So you can see that I just was able to cut through that pretty easily. All right, so yeah, it's not much to it really. All right, so here it is. Comes apart just like that. You see this cardboard end? Most filters actually use metal, right? So you know, the idea is that, you know, this paper end is probably okay, but the thing is, if you were to be given a choice, would you rather have metal, right? Or would you rather have paper? You know, so as you guys know, I do a little bit of a speaker review and a little bit of more in-depth listening, right? And speakers, yeah, there's a lot of paper speakers that are good, right? But then the thing is, papers tends to have a type of resonance that, I mean, you either like it or don't like it. And there's a difference between good quality paper and just cheap woofers, right? So, you know, as you know, there's polymer woofers these days. There's metal woofers. Klipsch, I think, used metal aluminum woofers, right? And other companies use Kevlar or carbon fiber for woofers. So point is, you know, there's certainly better materials than paper. I mean, you know, that's not much to it. Although it's thick, you see, it's a very thick cardboard. So that's not the problem. It's just that there's better materials. And for the price, let's say if you get it for the same price or cheaper for that matter, right? Would you rather have metal or paper? Right, so I'm showing you this because that's where the crimp seal is, where the paper filter fibers meet, right? And that's how they keep it together. This one, the Fram one, actually had a metal end seal. I'll find that in a second. I don't want to mix the two together, like mix it all up, right? So that I'm gonna throw it away because it's just gonna make a mess. That's the cup. This the drain back valve, or this the pressure relief valve. This actually seems to be a relatively good quality. Gasket, the anti-drain back valve, and here's the core, right? This is the part where it has the connection basically, and you can see that it has looks like there's 4. What you're looking for is, you know, the amount of threads right there, and it looks like there's 4 threads, and it's very similar to the Fram one. Actually, it's, if you take a look at that, wow, there's like 4 on the 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 threads on the Japanese made one. And if you take a look at this one, this one only has 1, 2, 3 threads. That's crazy. And well, the reason why that you would want more threads is because this is where it gets held onto the car. Like this threads onto the, you know, to the engine block, right? And the oil goes through this thing, and if you don't have enough threads to hold it in, you know, then long story short is that this thing can get loose or break off for that matter. So let's put this all side by side. So that's the cup. This is the Japanese one. That's the core. Okay, so I'll put everything side by side. Hopefully you guys can see that. Put it up side by side like that. Some do like you want to count the holes and the size of the holes, right? For the flow. This core is from, this looks like a tin can. These gaskets are similar. The Fram one feels a little bit more substantial, thicker, right? For what's that worth? and the relief valve, or the high pressure bypass valve. Here's what they look like. There's a spring there, and then there's a spring inside here too. So the idea is that when there's too much pressure of oil not getting through the filter, there's a certain amount of pressure that will allow the oil just to bypass, right? So this pushes down and then allows the oil just to flow, because you don't want the oil to be stuck, right? And this is the Fram one. This is a little bit different in design. Anti-drain back valve. So there's a little bit of a difference. And seems fine. The biggest difference though, other than these connection caps, is gonna be this core that holds in the filter element. This looks like a tin can almost, you know, if I squeeze it, right? See how easily that squeezes and warps. This one, however, there's a, what do you call that? That's the end is rolled on there, and it's certainly thicker. Let me see if I can squeeze it, and yeah, you can squeeze it too as well. Although it does seem quite a lot more substantial. And if you could take a look at that, one is thicker than the other. So hopefully you guys can see that. Anyways, that's one of the biggest differences. And then, oh, here it is. So in the seam, the end seam, the Fram one is crimped by this metal piece. So instead of this paper crimp here, looks like a paper crimp, or maybe some sort of glue. So it seems like it's some sort of hot glue maybe, or you guys chime in if you guys know what that type of material is, but it could be fiberglass or some sort of resin, but I'm not too sure. Anyways, the Fram one uses a metal crimp seam. That's one of the other differences. So to the can, without actually having a micrometer, I'm not going to be able to tell you guys which one is thicker. However, I can try to squeeze it, and because there's a bit of a seam right now, this is going to be hard to squeeze. So, and I don't want to get cut by the filter or anything, but they're both pretty substantial. They're pretty strong, so that's good. And then finally, I'm going to open up this filter I just got. And as you guys know, I've been buying Baldwin filters online from Amazon, and just wanted to show you guys the packaging. The packaging could be better. I mean, it's not really a big deal, but anyways, this is the filter B1402, and this fits all new Hondas, except the NSX, of course. And yeah, Acura, Honda uses the same one filter. So here's this one here it's a bit messy on the printing, but I mean, that's not a big deal. Right now there's a sale on at Amazon. This filter is available for $13 Canadian, which is pretty good. Pretty much the same price as the this one from the dealer. Actually, from the dealership is going to be a little bit more expensive, probably about $15 for this Japanese made one. And I'm in Canada, so these are Canadian prices basically. So $15. This one's $13, and I'm going to be pulling this apart shortly anyway when I'm up for a oil change next, right? So I'm going to show you guys that later. But actually, I forgot to I thought these filters seemed a little bit longer. Take a look at that. So it is a little bit tall, like longer or taller. You see that? So basically what it means is that there is probably a little bit more filter element in the Baldwin filter, which is a good thing, right? So how much taller is it? Probably, I don't know, maybe a centimeter, right? The gasket on the Baldwin is a little bit different. It's a thick type of rubber, and a little bit oil. I can't pull it apart right now, but actually, this is the rubber gasket. Actually, just leave it. It's in there good. So which is a good thing. It's stuck in there, which is, you want it to be stuck in there. It's a little bit different than these ones, but no complaints about these ones anyway. So that's the Baldwin filter. It's a little bit bigger, and probably filters better. I don't know, but tell me what you guys think. What do you guys think about the different parts? So one other thing I noticed is that I'm gonna let you guys take a look at that. The blues are a little bit different, not a big deal, but take a look at the sharpness of the print. Right, I'm my background. I have a print background as well, on the printing presses and all those things. So I can tell you guys that this was silk screened, not so nice. This one has much better printing quality. Not that the printing quality affects the filter capabilities, but it's just one thing to notice anyway. So this one made in USA, this one is made in Japan. Certainly some differences anyway. So you guys tell me what you guys think, and I think I'll call it at that. Thanks for joining me again. Let me know if you guys want to see something, or if I missed something. I'll keep all these things together. Hopefully I didn't mix anything up. Keep them all together for maybe a future video if I need any reference. I'm not gonna keep this element because it's just dirty. Actually, the filter element doesn't seem to be too dirty this time, because I remember the last time when I pulled it apart, it was quite a lot darker. Yeah, really hard to say. But I just can't get over the fact that, you know, Honda recommends this filter for every single one of their cars, and you know, including the big V6s, the Type R, Honda and Acura Integra Type R, Type S, Type R uses this same filter. So you know what, I'll leave you with this part of the story, because this is sort of interesting, and you guys chime in and let me know what you think. But this filter I purchased from the dealership, the Honda dealership. I asked them for, you know, I want a filter for my CRV, and they sold me this filter. So it was about $15 plus tax. Came with a washer, crush washer, and you know, after all the taxes and everything, you know, whatever, it's about 15 bucks, all right? And that's the one they gave me. This one came out of my Civic, and the last guys that changed my Civic's oil was Honda. And they put in this filter, right? And I would imagine this being an import from Japan. This one's made in the USA, which is the same continent as Canada, obviously. So this one's overseas. This one's imported from, you know, US. We have a free trade agreement, so there's no tax. Anyways, long story short is this one's cheaper. And by what I can tell, it's a lesser quality filter versus this Japanese one, just by judging by some of the parts and whatnot, right? So I would have thought that Honda dealership would have used the Japanese ones. And I don't know why they sold me the made in Japan one, and then put these ones on, you know, when they do an oil filter change for you, and I'll chime in, but the dealerships in the West Coast here charges about $200, including tax, for an oil change on these 1.5Ts. $200. And yes, they do some other stuff like check your tires and check your brakes, check your fluids and connections and connecting whatever stuff. Door hinges, I think they oil the door hinges. But anyways, long story short, is about $200. So yeah, things are just getting expensive, and you know, seeing these type of lesser quality, I mean, what do you call it, shrinkflation or quality shrinking. Yeah, just sort of odd. I'm gonna stop rambling. You guys have a great evening, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.